You guys didn't notice, like, Hispanics are just way more popping. Like, Cardi B, Chrisean, come on.
I guess I'm just wondering why any sane man, especially a married, famous, rich man, would mess with Chrisean Rock at this point.
Blueface went online and made this wild allegation that went viral that said that you and Offset had slept together behind Cardi's back. You haven't talked about it. Cardi hasn't talked about it.
She responded and said she didn't know if it was true or not, and she said, that's me and him is broken up. That's what she said.
Right.
What?
Welcome back to StarHush, where the mess never sleeps. And today's tea is hotter than ever. Because remember last December when Blueface hopped online and accused Chrisean Rock of hooking up with Offset? At the time, everyone thought it was just Blueface being his usual messy self, stirring drama for clicks. But fast forward to now, and word on the street is that maybe, just maybe, there was more truth in that chaos than folks wanted to admit. The new talk is that Chrisean herself has started opening up about what really went down. And if the whispers are true, she didn't just do it for fun. She allegedly did it as revenge against Cardi B. That's right, the claim is that Chrisean was intentionally trying to spark chaos in Cardi's world. The story is wild, but it's got the internet buzzing like crazy. Here's where it gets even juicier. This whole mess first broke when Chrisean's former best friend, Janet, decided to spill the tea during a live stream. Janet claimed that Chrisean confided in her about the whole situation, not just that she hooked up with Offset, but that it allegedly happened inside the home he shares with Cardi. That detail alone had people clutching their pearls. And it doesn't stop there. According to Janet, Chrisean admitted she left behind a ring on purpose, plotting that Cardi would eventually find it and flip out. Imagine that level of petty. For fans, that little nugget of info was enough to believe there was a revenge plan at play from the very beginning. Of course, the internet went wild when this resurfaced. Some people immediately said the story sounds like pure clout chasing from Janet, who might just be trying to stay relevant by dragging her ex-best friend. Others, though, are convinced it lines up with Blueface's accusations, and that there's no way both Janet and Blueface would say the same thing if there wasn't some truth behind it.
You guys didn't notice, like, Hispanics are just way more popping. Like, Cardi B, Chrisean, come on. And then you was a home wrecker, so it's like, you try to home wreck Cardi B shit because you want to be like her. So it's like, what did you say? You left your earring or your ring on purpose so Cardi could see it? Oh yeah, that's when I went all out. That's when I was like, we committing adultery now? Oh girl, that's not God. That's how I knew how to cut people off.
At first, the internet dragged Janet left and right, calling her a jealous ex-friend desperate for clout. People swore she was only trying to use Chrisean's name to stay relevant and stir mess by dragging Cardi B into the picture too. The timeline was ruthless, branding Janet as the bitter one who couldn't stand to see her former friend shine. But then things took a turn that nobody expected, because Blueface himself jumped in to co-sign the mess. Out of nowhere, he fired off a now-deleted tweet that made the situation 10 times hotter. In the tweet, he blasted Chrisean, writing, "Being tatted on somebody ain't no flex. You literally slept with Cardi B's husband a couple weeks ago. I'm tired of dudes looking at me while they messing with you. Get the rest of them gone ASAP, please." That one message was all fans needed to put the puzzle pieces together. He was flat out accusing her of being with Offset. And for context, this tweet hit right after Chrisean had gotten Blueface's face tattooed on her. Instead of seeing it as a sign of loyalty, he twisted it into proof that she was playing both sides, getting inked one moment and then allegedly running around with other men the next. That contradiction had the blogs in overdrive. Of course, Chrisean wasn't about to sit back and let Blueface and Janet control the narrative. She hopped online almost immediately to clap back. Not only did she deny parts of the story, but she also flipped the script by throwing her own allegations into the mix. Suddenly, it wasn't just about her and Offset anymore. She was pointing fingers right back at Blueface and painting him as the real villain in the situation. Fans were left dizzy trying to figure out who to believe. On one side, you had Janet and Blueface seemingly backing each other's stories, and on the other side, Chrisean swearing up and down that she was being unfairly dragged. The whole thing exploded into one of those messy internet sagas where truth and lies blur together, but the entertainment value keeps everyone glued to their screens. Chrisean wasn't about to let Blueface's accusations slide. She fired right back with some wild claims of her own. In a heated post, she clapped at him saying, "You over there trying to crack NLE Choppa's baby mama, and she dubbed you. You got no riz, my boy. Let's talk about how I saw GA videos in your recent search history. That's why I honestly got the cover up, bro. I had a zesty dude on my neck. Nothing wrong with being bi, just let a girl know before she falls in love." The internet went into overdrive at that one because Chrisean was basically flipping the script on him while doubling down that he was the real fraud in their situation. She accused him of being the one crashing out and making up lies, then mocked him for still calling her behind the scenes to check if she was really involved with Offset. To her, that proved he was obsessed with the narrative he created. But instead of backing down, Blueface doubled down even harder, dropping a jaw-dropping response. "So you ain't smashed Cardi's husband November 10th at 4 a.m. in their house in LA? I'm making this up now?" That one line reignited the entire scandal because he put a date, a time, and even a location on the allegation. And here's where Offset finally had to jump in, because his marriage with Cardi was already shaky, and this kind of headline could push things over the edge. He quickly hopped online to shut everything down, writing, "I ain't never talked or touched that lady. Real talk, man. You need some help again." His denial was firm, but the internet still split. Half the people believed him, and the other half wondered why Blueface sounded so confident with details. Blueface wasn't finished, though. Hurt and clearly determined to keep his point alive, he posted one last message, this time aimed directly at Offset. "If the truth tears you down, you live in a shameful life. I feel bad for you, 'cause I ain't never gonna lie on my name. If I hit it, I'ma admit it." That statement left fans shook, because Blueface made it sound like he had no reason to lie, but also no proof to back it up. Meanwhile, Cardi B was quietly making moves of her own. Fans noticed almost instantly that she unfollowed Offset on Instagram, and then came the cryptic posts. In one of her updates, she seemed to throw shade at her husband, hinting that she was done carrying dead weight in her life. That timing was no coincidence, and people immediately connected it to the ongoing Offset Chrisean Blueface triangle. So now, the drama had all three names fully entangled. Chrisean throwing shots, Blueface swearing he had receipts, Offset denying everything, and Cardi dropping hints that her patience had officially run out.
Here to find out, because I've been single for a minute now, but I have been afraid to I'm not afraid, I just don't know how to tell the world. But I feel like today has been a sign. The last time I got on live, I kind of wanted you guys to tell you. I kind of wanted to tell you guys, but I didn't know how to tell you, so I was I changed my mind. But it has been like this for a minute now, and I just took it as a sign. So I wanna start 2024 fresh, open. I don't know, I'm curious for a new life, for a new beginning. And yeah, I'm excited. Don't put me none of that.
And just when the fire was starting to cool down, Wack 100 had to jump back in and stir the pot all over again. During a sit-down on Vlad TV, the host pulled up one of Wack's old tweets that fans had nearly forgotten about. But the timing couldn't have been more perfect. This was the tweet where Wack shaded Offset in the most brutal way, claiming he couldn't tell the difference between a shack and a castle. Now let's break that down, because Wack wasn't being subtle at all. According to him, the shack was a clear dig at Chrisean Rock, while the castle was Cardi B. Basically, he was mocking Offset for allegedly stepping out on a queen for someone Wack viewed as beneath her status. The shade was so sharp, it instantly started trending again, with fans dragging Offset for not appreciating what he had at home. Wack doubled down during the interview, saying that a man in Offset's position should know better than to even entertain that kind of drama. He hinted that Offset was risking not just his marriage, but also his image, career, and legacy for short-term thrills. And whether you agree with Wack or not, his words cut deep, because they played right into the public narrative that Offset was sabotaging himself while Cardi deserved better.
You threatened to expose some information about Offset involving some of the drama with Cardi B.
Who?
You.
Oh, I kept the exposure from happening. You know, I got phone calls from people outside of Offset. You gotta remember, I got relationships with people before my relationships with Offset. So I got Cardi called me her damn self.
Okay, because you would put up a post. You said, at Offset, little weird ass N-word. I told you keep me out your emotional shit. It's your fault. You don't know the difference between a castle and a shack. What does that mean?
Cardi B, Chrisean Rock.
Okay. You're lucky I respect sis, right? Get out the way and really let the exposure happen. Remember what you said.
Yeah, he's blaming me for what Blueface is doing.
Wack didn't stop with just the shack versus castle shade. He added even more fuel to the scandal. He claimed that Offset actually called him directly, trying to pin the blame for the whole Blueface situation on his shoulders. According to Wack, Offset felt like Blueface's messy accusations were tearing his marriage apart, and somehow Wack got caught in the crossfire. That call alone showed just how much pressure Offset was feeling behind the scenes, because when a man starts pointing fingers, it usually means the walls are closing in. Meanwhile, Blueface had absolutely no intention of chilling out. If anything, he turned up the volume even more. He was ready to drag Chrisean Rock through the mud at any cost. And if Cardi B's name got pulled into the mess in the process, so be it. For Blueface, this wasn't just about exposing Chrisean, it was about making the entire situation as public and as messy as possible. The problem was that his messiness didn't just stop at Chrisean. Every time Blueface opened his mouth, it put Cardi in the headlines too, making her look like collateral damage in a feud that had nothing to do with her. Fans started noticing how Blueface's digs were indirectly chipping away at Cardi's patience, and that only added to the rumors that her marriage with Offset was hanging on by a thread.
He's blaming me for what Blueface is doing. I didn't agree with Blueface for what he did.
What did Blueface do?
Well, he posted, I don't know if it was text messages, pictures, I don't know what it was, right? Of Offset and Rock, Chrisean, right? I wake up to it. I guess it's on Twitter somewhere. I don't be on Twitter, I don't know. My phone's going crazy, right? It's Offset. He's telling me, only thing I'm hearing is Blueface. I call Blueface, hey man, what is going on? He's flipping out, tripping out. And I'm like, what did you do? And he said, I welcome Offset to the circus. I said, well, what is that? And that's when he told me, he put up some text messages showing that whatever night French Montana had his party out there, I guess they hooked up, right?
Chrisean Rock hooked up with Offset.
Exactly, right? And I'm telling Blueface, nah, you can't. That ain't bro code. He said, I don't give a f. He want to be part of the circus, he part of the circus, right?
And here's where the story takes an even wilder turn, because people had to remind Blueface that Cardi B herself once gave him a major boost in his career. Let's not forget she hopped on the remix for his track Bust Down Thotiana, a move that helped solidify his moment in the spotlight. Fans pointed out the irony. Cardi helped him back then, and now he was part of a messy narrative dragging her marriage through the mud. According to Blueface, the alleged link between Chrisean and Offset happened during French Montana's birthday party. Sources at the time claimed that Chrisean was spotted mingling at the party while Offset was also in attendance. And if that wasn't enough to raise eyebrows, those same sources insisted that Chrisean was later seen leaving the scene with him. That little detail alone had social media in a frenzy, with people running wild connecting dots that may or may not have existed. Now, to be clear, none of this was ever officially confirmed. No receipts, no hard proof, just whispers, rumors, and plenty of messy eyewitness accounts. But the timing made everything look suspicious. Word on the street now is that this situation wasn't just gossip. It allegedly played a role in cracking the already fragile foundation of Offset and Cardi's marriage. Not long after these rumors hit the blogs, news broke that Cardi had filed for divorce. Fans immediately connected the dots, saying this scandal with Chrisean might have been the straw that broke the camel's back.
I'm with your ops. That's one for your ops. Yeah, of course, because you don't move with integrity. You're not a street. That's what you do. That's what you do. Oh, I'm gonna go for your ops. Good. I don't give a fuck. You can fuck my ops, you fuck my friends, nigga. I don't give a shit. You're a lame to me, and you will never equate to me. And it's crazy that I even let you even play with me for such a long time. because you're not even a real right to me. I make you look good. You. Look at the jumping. I don't care. Look at the fucking. I'm a fool your ups. Matter of fact, oh look at this. I don't want to see it. So what? You was gonna film anyways. All you gotta do is get drunk, and I'm gonna throw you that pussy for 2,000. You gotta survive out here. Bitches gotta survive out here, nigga. Oh, now I'm with them. Now I'm with this. Okay, you could do that. You was gonna do it regardless. You go to a club and you probably get drunk. You give them 2,000. You was gonna do it regardless. Them gotta survive. These hungry out here.
And just when people thought Blueface might finally quiet down, he took things to an even darker level. Instead of letting the gossip breathe, he started making public threats toward Offset, saying he was going to make an example out of him. Blueface went as far as talking about how he'd have someone tap Offset on the shoulder just to remind him that he wasn't untouchable. That comment alone sent shockwaves through social media because it turned messy gossip into something that sounded like a street-level warning. Fans instantly started calling Blueface reckless, pointing out that threatening someone publicly is way different than just spilling tea. Others argued he was just trolling, trying to keep himself trending by pushing the line further and further. But either way, the tension was obvious. Offset was being painted as both a scandal magnet and now a potential target in Blueface's personal war. This moment made the whole situation feel bigger than just relationship drama. It was clout chasing, ego battles, and dangerous talk all rolled into one. And the fact that Cardi B was stuck in the middle of it only added to the pressure that reportedly pushed her closer to filing for divorce.
Stand on what I said about Offset. Offset was mad about his wife, sent them threats. That's why. So you know, we had somebody just tap on his shoulder and let him know he's touchable. So you know, we're not worried about Offset no more. That's why. That's why Wack posted what he posted. And yeah, all right. I'm the big bad wolf, schoolyard crip. Yeah, homies. Welcome to the circus, kid. That's why.
When this scandal first broke about a year ago, it had the internet in a chokehold. Both Offset and Chrisean Rock were out here denying every single accusation, firing off statements and clapping back in interviews, but nobody could tell who was being honest and who was just stirring the pot. It was one of those situations where every denial only created more questions. And like the old saying goes, what's done in the dark will always find its way to the light. Now, the latest word on the street is that Chrisean herself is starting to spill the beans. Sources claim she has privately admitted that she did in fact hook up with Offset, and she supposedly revealed that it wasn't about romance or even attraction, or it was about revenge. Allegedly, she wanted to hit Cardi B where it hurt, using Offset as the weapon. That shocking claim has fans trying to connect the dots, asking, what exactly could Cardi have done to make Chrisean want to go that far? That's the part nobody seems to have figured out yet. No one has been able to link a concrete moment where Cardi did Chrisean dirty enough to deserve that kind of payback. Still, the rumors are making waves across blogs and tabloids, and the theory of revenge has taken on a life of its own. And while we wait for Chrisean to finally speak on this situation in her own words, fans are already voicing their thoughts. One person wrote, I think Rock knew exactly what Blue was saying when he accused her of messing with Offset. Something happened, or at least it was supposed to happen. She was too quiet about that situation. That comment had thousands of likes, proving plenty of people share the same suspicion. Another fan chimed in with a wilder take saying, Offset clapped Blueface's girl's cheeks and put it out as revenge. 2024, craziest logic ever. That kind of messy theorizing is exactly what keeps this scandal alive, even after so much time has passed. And the kicker? To this day, Chrisean has never fully denied the allegations, which only keeps the speculation alive. So now it's your turn, my stars and hushers. What do you think? Was Chrisean guilty as charged back then, or is she just keeping the story alive now for attention and clout? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next video. Because trust me, the mess only gets deeper from here.